Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Ray, and I am going to be doing a psychic reading or providing psychic insight on the one and only Miss Tyra Banks. And this has been requested by some of you out there who are very interested in Tyra, or should I say by her new modeling name, Banks. For those of you that are not aware, a little bit backstory. She is a famous international supermodel. She's a TV personality, a singer, an author, and she's done everything. What hasn't she done at all? She's done everything. So just so you know, she is one of the. She's worth like almost, I don't know how much she's really worth, like 90 million or so, but she's up there, and one of the most top paid models, and she has come out of retirement this year, and she did this cover that you see here that came out on one of the magazines. It was a very a very cool photo session, and she's showing her body now, without any kind of photoshopping. She's showing her body, how she looks and how she feels. It's very reflective on the inside, because the Tyra from way back was a fierce Tyra, but I feel like it was also not really embracing her inner and outer self. And right now she's like living the life. I feel like we are in an era, and she's bringing it back. She's still young. To me, 45 is young. So I think people are just putting people into age brackets, and in the modeling industry in particular, that is something that's very common, that people put models into an age bracket and an expiration date. It's like, once you hit your mid-20s or your 30s, you're basically no longer considered viable or marketable in that industry. Well, she's coming back, and I feel like she's not only, as an African American, is she making a name and paving the way for other future generations, which is something that she's done, with her modeling career. But for women her age, women that are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, she's, kind of being a voice for that age bracket or age group, and saying, hey, we may be up in age, we may not be, in our 20s or 30s, but age is just a number, and, I am beautiful inside and out, and it's body positivity, so she's embracing her curves, her natural beauty, and I feel like that is something that is she's living in her most authentic self than she has ever lived in, because I feel like the Tyra from the past was almost inhibited, and also very much ruled by what, like, the contracts and things that they have to do, which is not really starve themselves, but really like be on a certain weight. Because Tyra, she's been very adamant that she never was really stick thin, compared to some of the other models. Her body type was very different, but yet she was, the assets that she has, she knew how to use those to her benefit, and her eyes, her body, her curves, that made her Tyra Banks, the Tyra Banks that she is now. So what I see for Tyra right now is, like I said, she is in a very vibrant, spiritually centered, very good place in her life. And I think she's working it, and she knows, she's working the camera and all social media, because back then when Tyra was, in her prime and was really modeling, you have to understand, it was a different time period. We didn't have social media like we have today. It was basically magazines, newspapers, or, on the internet. It was just barely coming out, the internet. But it wasn't, we didn't have Instagram. We didn't have Facebook. We didn't have Twitter. We didn't have these big social media sites. So now I feel like she is using it. And for her generation that she was born in, she's telling people and showing people, hey, it's okay to embrace your age and be fearless. And that's the message that she's sending out. It's very positive. She's written books, she's graced tons of magazine covers. She's worked with the most top and elite fashion designers in the world, and worn their outfits or dresses, so it's like she hasn't really There's nothing that she hasn't really done, and she is going to accomplish a lot more because I see her working very, very hard. This is the insight that I get for Tyra going forth, from the remainder of this year into next year. She has a lot of projects that are coming to her, and I feel like this reemergence of her modeling career is not only going to like amplify it, but we're going to see Tyra like everywhere. Like I feel like she has the right team around her, and she can trust them. And yes, she is very intuitive. She's not dumb. She's a very smart businesswoman, so she knows what she's doing, and she knows who she can trust on her team, and people that she knows who's just going to be a yes person, and she deviates away from that, and she's about taking risk, and that's what I see her doing. So there's a lot of fulfillment for her, but there's also some loss. There's some feelings of not being entirely fulfilled in her money. In terms of her money in her financial area, there's a lot of fulfillment there, but in her most emotional area, in her when it comes to her love life, her personal thoughts, her personal space, there are some areas there that are kind of empty. And what I mean by empty, I mean that specifically she may feel like depressed at certain times when she thinks about her personal love life, or she may feel a certain kind of way, not necessarily depression, but she may feel a certain type of way, and she is kind of feeling those emptiness or those voids with other things, like finding fun, having some time with her child, doing things with her mom, going out with girlfriends, doing her modeling, doing makeup, trying on new things. All of the different work projects that she's doing keeps her busy, and kind of compensates for that void that she feels at times. Now, interestingly enough, I see that there is a man that is interested in her, and this would be a Caucasian male. That is someone that is older than Tyra. I would say maybe about 2 to 3 years. So he may be around 46, 47, somewhere around there. A business person, very, very dry and cut with his, the way that he sees things in the world. He does have brown hair, facial hair, brown eyes, very light complected, or kind of like an olive skin tone. I feel like he may be even European, or have European bloodline, like Italian, possibly, and possibly did work at one time in the modeling industry himself, or with fashion designers, kind of doing some modeling, etc. But now is like a businessman, and I feel like he's not hurting financially either. But again, I feel like she has different people that are interested in her, but I feel like for some reason she kind of, like I said, is pushing a lot of this away. So will she continue to be single forever? No, I don't see that she will be. I feel like she definitely is going to explore having a relationship with someone, but she's never going to allow any man to tell her what to do, or anybody, to kind of overshadow who Tyra is, because Tyra is fierce. Tyra is someone that doesn't put up with crap from people. She's a boss lady. She's a boss babe. So I mean that respectfully, but that's the energy that I get from her. And so, she's going to continue to kind of think about all of this and find balance in her career and everything that she has going for her. I still feel like there's more to her that we haven't seen. So there's going to be definitely more covers that she has. I also pick up a lot of jealousy. Now, there's a lot of women that are not supportive of Tyra, and men in the industry. One, because of her age, which is ridiculous, that people would be like that, be petty about that. And two, because, she's African American, and I hate to say it, but in this world that a lot of these that we live in right now, there are some people that are like supremacist, and they think that, that it only should be about white models, or Caucasian models, because you don't really see supermodels that are Hispanic, Mexican, or that are Latino, or that are black. There's a lot more models now coming out, but Tyra was like one of the pioneers, one of the first ones that really made a name And so again, I see jealousy. So I feel like they are going to try to put her. Oh, and I can't forget to mention the other famous African American model, which is Naomi Campbell. Um, but like I said, there are people that are kind of like trying to put her up against other people as being labeled as a diva. So there are going to be people that this year and going into next year that may be like buddies with tabloids and things that are writing, just ridiculous rumors about Tyra and, the reason that she's going through this. I think a lot of people also have asked if she's gone through, I've heard like a lot of conspiracy theories that if she's been cloned, if she's gone through MK Ultra. I don't see that with Tyra. I'm not going to say that that doesn't exist out there because I'm very much a believer that, cloning does exist, and there is the elite, there is this mind control program out there, but I don't see her being part of that, and I'm just keeping it real. But again, everybody has their own opinion. I do also see like she does have some of these battles up ahead, for her. We're just gonna have to kind of cut through some people. So it's not, this year is gonna be, kind of about work and her personal life and finding that balance. But at the same time, she's gonna have to make some very sharp and very fast decisions about certain people maybe that she has to work with, or people that she has to put up with. And I say it like that not because like she's a diva and she has to put up with it, but you have to understand, not everything in this industry is so like sweet and nice and people are a certain way. There's a lot of vile people out there that are very much about themselves and self-absorbed, and she has to put up with a lot of crap that people will say. And I feel like she's at this point in her life where she's not going to put up with it, so she's going to let them know what Tyra thinks, and they're just going to have to go with it and listen to what she has to say. So there is definitely judgment, but she needs to be strong, regardless of what people are saying about her, because again, this is not about them. It's about her life path, and what she's doing is something that she is inspiring a lot of people, a lot of females and a lot of males, and just people of all ages, to embrace who they are. And that's the message that she's sending. It's a very positive message. But yeah, she definitely is going to be with someone eventually. I do definitely see a lot more acting with her. There's something about a movie as well, so I don't know if she has been like approached to do a movie. This would be like a box screen, like one of those really important roles like on a movie. But I see her kind of doing that and being approached as a future project for her. There's also something about Egypt with her as well, so I don't know if she has a fascination for this culture, but I keep seeing like a very I feel like she had a past life, honestly, in Egypt, and there is royalty in her bloodline as well. So somewhere in her bloodline, somewhere in her past life as well, there was a past life in Egypt, and I think a lot of people have had past lives in Egypt, and we can relate to that culture because it is one that where the consciousness was very much at a very higher level than it is today. I feel like that civilization was very advanced, and so they were like vibrating on a higher dimension than a fifth dimension that what we have today, even though you would think that because they were so far back in the past, and they may not have had the technology that we have today. I feel like they had a lot of other things that we don't have and that we're lacking in today's society, especially their spirituality and consciousness. So I see like a lot of that around Tyra as well. And then I get another guy coming in. It may be within like next year, not necessarily this year. But again, timelines are very hard to give because they can change due to people's free will. But I see another guy coming in that's interested. And this guy is someone who's younger than Tyra. And he is someone that has light hair. I want to say he's blonde, or he changes it to blonde hair. Very clever, very young energy, which is, again, something that I feel like she may not want to go with this person because I feel like they're too emotional and kind of possessive. But again, only this will make sense to Tyra if she happens to listen to this, or if this gets to her, her people, and she listens to it, when it happens, she may make some sense of it. But overall, I feel like she's going to continue to be successful. As far as her health is concerned, I don't diagnose people, but I can tell you what I see spiritually, and I feel like, she's going to be fine. She takes good care of herself. She doesn't starve herself. She doesn't go through that. She's all about, doing it slow. If you have to lose weight, and kind of doing it in a way that doesn't hurt her body. Because again, she's learned from past trials and errors about, body positivity and about eating disorders and stuff like that. And I'm sure that she saw many of that, much of that in her career, where she was, around models. She saw a lot of women that were, colleagues that were depriving themselves of food and starving themselves. So she's seen it all, like I said, and she's learned a lot from that. And it's she's very valuable to the industry, and also to younger generations, to let them know, what's the ropes, around all of this. Like, how can you be successful? So yeah, I wish Tyra all the best. She's gorgeous and just an amazing person. Wish her all the best, and also all of her fans out there as well. And all of you Rays of Light, thank you again for tuning in to another video. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And don't forget to, if you'd like to book a private reading, or you're looking for some new jewelry, I will be updating my website tonight. So tomorrow you may want to check it out. I will have some new jewelry pendants, including prehnite, amethyst, and labradorite crystals. Very beautiful. So blessings and love and light. Have an amazing day or night wherever you are in the world.